Hey, what's going on, DBI? Riz here, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't do many of these, but today we're going to be having a Hell's Gates conversation, and it's going to be going over the Obsidian Cortex. If you're wondering what that is, well, it is the story that I've been working on. It's the story of Ichono and the group from Blackley that are on their way to do something. So just for, so that you guys know, and if you're not interested, I will just be talking about my own story, my own work, not for like an ego thing, just because I want to talk and share some insights on the things that I've been doing and giving these characters a little bit of shine. What's up, everybody? So yeah, this is just a Hell's Gates, right? This is Ike and I, circa 1998, chilling in a room talking about roleplay. And it's been a how do I want to start this? This arc, the Obsidian Cortex, obviously came from the Weight of Love, which was the Risen Times contest. Not really, it was a contest last year, and it was my entry into it, and it was me re-exploring the feelings of loss. It was me re-exploring Ichono and just kind of revisiting Blackley. Like, I'm not gonna lie, role-playing Rizian as the Knight of Blackley has probably been like the most fun and interesting roleplay character I have ever, well, I won't say ever, but I've had in a very long time. Like, that was some of my favorite RP, and just the setting, and like, it was like golden age. I wish I could go back to that. It was just so fun, like the character trying to be so loved by Zofu, right? Like, that's just all he was like just this like obedient puppy, right? That was like, give me a job, let me do it, and then give me head scritches after. And he had like no real true ambition other than to serve. And then, he meets Ichono, and she kind of changes him. And I thought, like, okay, so this is gonna be the tool that's gonna like slowly shift my character into a different direction. And then when I killed him off, I felt the void that she did. And that's where like Ichono like kind of really, that weight of love, that pain that she would, like, I felt it too, because it was like, damn, now I can't get back to this because I killed it for this thing over here. And it was I killed Rizian off because I wanted to do a big arc, and the arc didn't go anywhere. So, that is what happened. So now we flash forward, and the idea is still in my mind of like, okay, I need to do something with these characters, because I really loved it, and I really loved the idea of an adventure. Like, to be perfectly honest, I see this Obsidian Cortex as like my ode to Fellowship, right? My ode to Tolkien. And that's one of the inspirations behind this, has been making a cast of characters and trying to give each one of them their own unique feel, their own unique addition, their own unique part in this party and in this story. And I know it's been like kind of heavily, like, I would say so far, like, John Washington, Rebelline have been more of the progression characters. Like, Ichono has been there, but she's been more like kind of like passive, to where you know she's the main character because there's something different and special about her, but her presence isn't big enough in the party and in the party dynamic yet. But I wanted to write something that was like my fellowship, something that was even, and I'll say this, I don't even have a Minas Mordred, right? Symphony might be something that's close to it, but Minas Mordred is like one of the best works on this platform that we've ever had. Like it should go into like the Hall of Fame. Make it an actual tome, put it in a glass, cast a spell on it, and say, like, speak friend and read this awesome story. Like, that's where Minas Mordred should be. And I don't have anything that I feel is like that. And while I would like to say this log could be that, I'm approaching it in a way of like no stakes, right? I'm not trying to make this the best bit of work that I've ever done, but hoping that I am getting there, right? Like I'm putting my all into it. In her last video, Eichenbot asked, like, how has the new reading been so easy to read? What have I changed? Why is it such a quick read? To answer that question, I guess I would just have to say I've not been trying so hard, right? Like, remember back when we used to think, or maybe this is just a me thing, that, the great role players would give you 6 just massive, super thick and detailed posts and respond to your one thing. Like, it had to be this like virtuotic, poetic, just rhapsody of writing, and we used to think like that's the best role player, right? And it's like, while that was a great post, it took you 45 minutes to type it. And, like I got to get to bed in an hour and a half. So we've got maybe 3 rounds of that. It's great quality work, but we can do like 3 back and forths and then we got to go. So I kind of stopped myself from needing to get so deep into the language, and have really just said, let it go, man. Like, just let it go. It doesn't need to be a book, right? Just whatever you're feeling right here, just put it on the page, and I feel like this story is not reading like a Riz log, hopefully. And maybe it's just because like it's my stuff, so I understand, but like I feel like I always have like a flow, a rhythm. You know when the shift is coming, when the bad guy is about to show up. I know, like, it's almost like I know how long I can hold my breath, so I know the rhythm of the breathings, like, and it's gonna do here and it's gonna deflate here, and we're gonna, and with this, I would say, because I don't have my own personal character involved and invested in this story, as far as like I don't need to give Rizian a moment to shine. I don't have to worry about, like, I guess me. Like, I honestly, if I'll say this right now, if I get no more RPP for this story, sure, because it makes sense, right? Like, I'm just the person writing it, but however, like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I don't care about the RPP. As nicely as I can say this, it's not that I don't appreciate, but it's like, I'm not writing this so that Lux will, give me this great video review and put flowers all over me and tell me that I'm great. Like, that would be awesome. I would love that. My ego would definitely love that. But I'm not writing it for that. I'm not writing it so that other people can say, hey, this is good, or hey, this is bad. I'm just trusting that what I do will be quality, and more following my own feelings of what I feel like should come out and be on page. And not overthinking it, not, doing 13 rewrites in my head, or being too afraid to just jump in and put words on page, right? Just, if you have an idea, run with it, right? I'm not one of those people that plan stuff out. I've definitely changed role plays in the middle of doing it, just because, like, how I would write something, I'm like, okay, but then this goes to here and to here, and then it's something that I never planned. So I've just really just been writing what I feel, right? Writing how I feel. Like the synopsis for Nightmares is, souls unknowing of each other, all touched by the same light, suffer the same plight. Like, if I want to get big and make it feel then let's go for it. And then, let's add some goof. It doesn't all need to be doom and gloom and everybody hates everybody, and like let some light shine in. But that's just been how I've been structuring the story. That's how I've been writing it. And also, less is more, right? I feel like I've been the type of person that needed to shape a scene as if it were behind a camera lens, right? I'm almost telling people, like, start up here, pan down here, wider shot out there, gets in really tight here, let's go upside down. It's just a lot, right? Like, it's very detailed, like, punch kick, people turn their shoulder to the right so they can look. It was just very, like, blocking, and it wasn't reading like a story, right? To me, it wasn't reading like just letting it flow and letting it be out there. Again, less is more, right? Example, in Glamour, the most recent log that I've done, there was a spot where they arrive and John Washington, starts skateboarding throughout the forest, and legit, I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, he can, go up here, grind down there. How am I going to get him to go over here, transition and flip? And I'm in my head thinking, like, this is about to be 8 or 9 posts just of him doing action, when I can just tell them that he was up there, and then if somebody else is like, wow, that was a big slide, I don't know what it was, but then I'm allowing the reader to be like, oh, I wonder what he did. If you've given me an idea, now my own imagination is playing with it, and now I'm seeing in my head, what he could be doing, rather than me trying to look at your abstract Picasso picture in words. So maybe that's why, right? But it's definitely not something that I'm trying to do. There's no technique that I'm involving myself in. I'm just writing in a way that I think conveys a beautiful picture, if I need it to be beautiful, just to get my words to convey a feeling, maybe, right? Or at least get my feelings out onto the page. So that's been, 14 minutes on just talking about structure. So now I kind of want to talk about the characters, and we have them here. We're going to start with the main character, Lady Echono. It is Echono, right? That's how it's pronounced. When I was saying earlier about, she came back around the Weight of Love for the Risen contest, and how I felt about when she lost him, I was also thinking, like, of other things about her. And I do know, I want to say it was in Take My Breath, it was kind of mentioned, and it was kind of like weird, she is, her name's Echono, she's the demon Catastrophe, and she is a wraith demon, an old one, and it seems like it's like prestige dumping. It seems like, I'm giving her a lot of titles. So I did want to clear that up. I did want to discuss that. So with Lady Echono, she is a wraith demon, and like think of that as like a type of demon, right? So you can have just regular demons, you can have wraiths, you can have Majins, tieflings, and everything. That's just her demon type. And the old one just means it is a very old, ancient, demonic race, like they're like their own set of people, kind of like the ancients in Final Fantasy, or the Dunedain in Lord of the Rings. Like they're people, they're humans, they're demons. She's a demon, she's just a wraith demon. And that may or may not be important in the story at a later time. But the thing about Catastrophe, all right, I'm gonna jump deep into spoiler territory right now, because it may be a long time before this actually comes out, but Echono does not actually have her true name, and her being the demon Catastrophe, she's not, right? She is not the true name demon Catastrophe. What we will find out later. This chapter is already pretty much done. I just gotta find the time to put it into the story. But there is a chapter where we kind of learned that Echono, because of all of her failures previously, has been given the nickname Catastrophe. Like she's the type that, like, when she goes onto a mission and it's to do the impossible, it's like it almost happens, but then something bad that's not even her fault like just happens, and then boom, the mission's a failure. She kind of blames herself for her mother dying in the same way, which we don't know how her mom died, but it's kind of implied throughout the story so far that she did have something to do with it. So the village has given her the nickname Catastrophe, and she kind of believes it. So she kind of like you tell a lie to enough people for long enough and you kind of start to believe it. So like that's just part of her character, to where she kind of believes that she is this Catastrophe, even though like there's no evidence to prove that it is her causing it. So that's just what that is. So she's not like super duper special, except to me, my heart, and to Duzamel, her father. Which, man, I love Duzamel. I really do. I really love that character. But with the Obsidian Cortex, back to reality. Zax and Rebelline. Where's Zax? There you are, buddy. Zax, and we'll get to Rebelline here in a second. Zax and Rebelline, though, I wanted to include some characters from Blacklay just to kind of keep that with us, right? And I do want to say that, like, I want to use Blacklay just as like a reference point, but I kind of really want to stray away from referencing it too much. Like, you have to, given the character's origin, right? But I kind of want to let them have their own dominion, right? I kind of have, like, I don't want to use Eichenbahn's characters and stories as a crutch, and I don't want to overly affect them by adding too much Blacklay to my own story. So it's like, yep, they're kind of they're from this crossover, but we're not going to talk about the other TV show too much, But it has been fun. Like, I really liked, and this was heat of the moment, that Zax is kind of like a battle mage. You know, like he's more the traditional DBZ fighter, and he's trying to learn how to incorporate magic with it. And he is definitely my wizard, right? Like he had, like, that's his spell book, like the thing on his arm. So what it's supposed to be, if I can show you, it's supposed to be like a mini gauntlet that goes over the finger, and then it comes over here, and then it comes down there, and then like on here he has his spell book, but he has to draw the runes in and then like make the spell here, and then he wields it like that. And I was like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know what I was on at the moment of me thinking of that, but I was like, that is so cool. And you know, him being kind of, I won't say cowardly, but he's definitely out for himself, right? He's still a demon. He is willing to sacrifice John Washington to get away, for sure. Here we go. Here's our girl. At least my girl. Here's my favorite. Rebeline. I mean, she just seems like the type that if she weren't skilled enough, Zofu might like incinerate her in just spur of the moment, right? Like might just like see her, but just burn her away because she's so like bouncy and bubbly, but like dark about it, right? She has like pop references that she's constantly making, and you know, when she sees Halcon, she's just like, oh, he's so handsome, oh my god. And it's been fun, right? Like I've been saying, like the whole thing about this is just to be fun and to have fun with it. And then of course we have Mr. John Washington, who, like, I agree is kind of like becoming a main character in this story, really starting to stand out in his own way. I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna make him a pillar of light. Kansu, help. But yeah, I mean, he's he's been my paladin, right? He's been that like source of justice, and like I'm just gonna do what's right because it's the right thing to do. You know, he's an interesting character because while it feels like he has the least connection to Rizian, which, I mean, yeah, he does. Like, his story goes beyond that, right? Which is why I say he's my paladin, because it's like duty and duty not, I mean, I'll spoil you this, his duty is not to Rizian, right? But Rizian affected the impact of the duty on him. And he's just been like my like urban kind of like boots on the ground. Let's ground everybody. Let's ground this story with just a human, right? Who is traveling with 3 demons. One of them already tried to eat and kill him. The other one has now sacrificed him twice. Right? And he's still there. He's crazy. But yeah, and then like the other part of this story, which I don't have pictures of them, has been the Konats part, right? Like the Necromancer and Halcon and the Road Wardens, and Alexio. And like what's actually going on. Which yeah, when you said that, you know, we had to give, you didn't really say it, but you said like the villain's flat, right? And I agree, the villain is flat. We don't know anything about them. You know, I thought I touched on something stronger than I did, and it, because I haven't mentioned it again, I understand why it would fall flat. I thought there would have been a stronger connection to him through what he did, but I see why it didn't work. I really, because I know the finale, you know, I enjoy these characters as they are because I know everything. You know, I know how the story ends. But the Necromancer has not lived up to expectations in my mind of where I thought they would be right now. I will admit that. Alexio, however, has been a lot of fun because it allowed me to like kind of dip my toes into role-playing what a Souls-like would look like. You know, the slow kind of like gotta kill them quick enemies, and you're in a city and then trying to get out and like save points and things like that. So the villains have been fun. I haven't gone like full villain mode yet. And I guess that is where it's going to be hard for me because I don't want to. I don't want it to just be blood and guts and things like that. Like, I want the story to be more... I want them to have more impact than just being monsters, right? Like, I don't want them to be sympathetic bad guys, but I want them to have just more impact than, yeah, they're running around and ripping people apart. And, you know, trying to put what feels like it's becoming like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 6v6, right? Like, I feel like that's where we're headed. Trying to steer away from that as well. So I feel like when there's like combat and conflict in the future, we may do a lot of cutting of it unless it's absolutely necessary. There may just be times where it's like, you know, we go take a look over here, and, you know, we come back and look over here and the fight's over. It won't be that boring, trust me. I'll try to make it interesting, but yeah, God, I've been going for 30 minutes. Time to kind of wrap this up. So, what did I say about the Obsidian Cortex? I've been having a lot of fun writing it. I know that's for sure. I have been trying to weave my own story into the pre-existing lore and try to like kind of not bind them together, but like let them intertwine and really be like a deep root, like a deep rooted story, right? in the current like lores, you know, I want to use as much DBI in here as I can. If that makes sense, I want to show you guys like deeper DBI. Yes, right? While also having a class system in a party from D&DBI, right? Like using Antana and what comes after. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. That'll be a good one. Is there anything else I really wanted to say? Like, I loved Glamour. I loved writing them, right? I loved writing The Fall. The Fall, you know, hopefully we got that The Fall wasn't him dropping, but him falling from graves. Take My Breath, like Yiga just became so freaking amazing. But now we have our folks, and they're on Konats. So we got Konati, John Washington. This just is Konati Reveline. That's just her. It's just her, and she gave herself some ears. Actually, I was going to show you what she actually looked like as her hob form, and she wouldn't allow me. She redacted it out of my files, so she's gone. I want to get Konati Zax up here, rocking the. Oh, let's get rid of the lower third. Rocking the green tunic, and then the best for last, the main character, Konati Ichono. And we're no longer at Hell's Gates. We're on Konats. Is this background image a spoiler? Maybe. But thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, I gave you some insights on what has just been a very fun journey. I'm always so excited when I get the time and the brain is working and I can start putting stuff on page, and again, just freeing myself from caring about what other people think, has really helped me. And again, I'm not saying I don't care what anybody has to say. I know it's good. Just writing it, right? Just writing it without worry has been fun. It's just been fun. And I hope that, if people are getting reviews and they think that they're being dunked on, like, we're not. Just go out there and write something that's fun. That's all I want you guys to do. Just go have fun. And be good to one another.